Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Neuvillette listener by me, so let's get into it. The room was filled with a soft patter of rain against the tall windows of Neuvillette's office. The overcast skies, casting everything in a muted gray. He sat across from him, watching his eyes linger on the storm beyond the glass. His face, usually a mask of composed authority, was now shadowed by something deeper. His elegant fingers were interlaced on the table before him, his knuckles slightly pale from the pressure. Neuvillette? Your voice was soft, questioning. He had been distant lately, and you couldn't quite place why. What's on your mind? He turned to look at you, his gaze a mixture of tenderness and torment. It's nothing, he started, but the weight of his words immediately contradicted the attempted reassurance. His deep voice, which had always been a source of comfort to you, now seemed strained. You stood, crossing the room to sit beside him, reaching out to take his hand. The moment your fingers touched his own, you felt the faintest tremble. You've been like this for days. Please, Neuvillette, talk to me. He exhaled slowly, his grip on your hand tightening. I'm afraid. His confession was startling. Neuvillette, the Chief Justice of Fontaine, the Dragon Sovereign of Hydro, feared nothing, or so you thought. But here he was, shoulders heavy with an invisible burden. Afraid of what? You asked, your heart beating faster, sensing the gravity of his words. You had never seen him like this, so vulnerable and so human. I'm afraid of losing you. I've been afraid of it for a while now, he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. His eyes locked onto yours, and for the first time, you saw an ancient sorrow there, one that had been lurking beneath the surface. And your chest tightened at his words, and you squeezed his hand gently. Neuvillette, you're not going to lose me. He shook his head, his grip on your hand tightening, as if anchoring himself to reality. You don't understand. Time is cruel. I'm not like you. I have seen centuries pass, watched people come and go, and still I remain. But you... His voice cracked, and he looked away, as if ashamed of his vulnerability. You are mortal. You stared at him, the truth settling into your bones. Of course, you knew Neuvillette was not normal. He was a damned dragon. He was not mortal like you. Things that were for you would never be the same for him. But you had never thought about the inevitable truths and how much he would suffer. He would outlive you, no matter what. I don't want to watch you wither and fade. I cannot bear the thought of a world without you in it. He continued, and the silence between you was heavy, broken only by the soft roll of thunder in the distance. Your heart ached for him, for the deep loneliness and suffering that must have plagued him for so long. You won't lose me. I'm here with you now. We still have time, he whispered, cupping his cheek with your free hand. His skin was cool under your touch, but there was warmth in his gaze as he turned back to you. I'm here with you now. We still have time. But it's not enough. I cannot do this, Ryan. I cannot let you slip away like a fleeting dream. I want more than time. I want eternity. Eternity? He stood then, pulling away from you as he paced to the window. His silhouette was outlined against the gray skies, and the storm outside mirrored the tempest within him. I have the power to make you like me, to grant you a life that does not end. The weight of his offer settled between you, heavy and unescapable. You stood slowly, watching his shoulders tense as he awaited your response. Neuvillette, you're talking about immortality. Yes. I cannot force you. I will not. But I'm offering it to you because I love you more than anything in this world. And I cannot live in a world where you are not. You were silent, trying to process everything he was saying. The thought of living forever, of watching the world change and people come and go, just as Neuvillette had said. It was daunting. But the thought of leaving him behind, of him facing that endless expanse of time alone, was unbearable. You'd do that for me? You would share that part of yourself? Despite what it may mean? His eyes softened, and he stepped forward, taking your hands in his once again. For you, I would do anything. You could feel the love, the devotion, and the fear in his touch and in his words. He was offering you everything even though it terrified him. And you realized that this wasn't just about fear. It was about love. A love so deep that it transcended time, that was willing to defy the natural order of things, just to keep you by his side. I don't know if I'm ready. The thought of doing that, it's overwhelming. I know, but you won't have to face it alone. We will face it together now. Your heart swelled at his words, and you found yourself nodding, tears breaking at the corners of your eyes, as Neuvillette's arms were around you in an instant, pulling you against him. There was only him, and the promise of eternity now. And the world just faded away as you realized that Neuvillette was more than ready to love you till the end of time.